Hello my crafty friends, it's Jelly Bean, and today this is a different kind of video. About a month ago, I've been very hesitant to do this video, and you'll understand why here in a minute. About a month ago, I was tagged to answer the 10 crafty questions by Miss Susan Tootsie Tucker, and at the time she tagged me was when I had to go to Florida. My dad was on life support and everything happened with him. So I didn't get to really do them at that time. And then after he passed away and I come back home, I really wanted to do the questions, but part of the questions had to do with him. So I've had to build myself up and be able to do this without busting out in tears. So anyway, I wanted to do this. So I've gotten to know so much about all of you, and I have thoroughly enjoyed the stories that y'all have told when answering the questions. So I thought maybe I would go ahead and do them. I know it's a little bit late, and I know everybody's already been tagged and everything, but I still wanted to go ahead and do them. So the first question is, what is your name? My name is Janice. A lot of people on here call me Jelly Bean. My dad always called me Jelly Bean, and that's how I got my YouTube channel name, Jelly Bean Junction. My dad called me Jelly Bean from, I guess, the time I was born. I was the oldest of 4 and his first child, and I really don't know why he started calling me Jelly Bean. I asked him when he was 70 why he started calling me Jelly Bean, and he said he really didn't remember, but it just stuck, and that's what he's always called me. So anyway, when about 5 years ago, I decided to try to start selling online on eBay, and I got a business license and all that kind of stuff, and I was selling on eBay, and I named my store Jelly Bean Junction because my dad he would get so excited because some of the things that I would get and sell, I would get at thrift stores and yard sales and stuff like that. And my dad is a yard sale fanatic. He every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, he lived in Florida, and every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday you got up and you went yard selling until there were no more yard sales to go to. And he would actually sit down and map out the whole town of where to go for the yard sales. So we went in a big circle. And in Florida, when a lot of the northern people were moving back up north, they would sell all their stuff so they can move back up north, and we would find great deals. I would find whole rolls of lace, the whole, I don't know if you call it a bolt, like fabric or whatever, but, and when I first started selling on YouTube, or eBay, the reason I started was I have done crafts all my life. I cannot ever remember not doing crafts. When I was growing up, my mother worked in a sewing factory for a time, and she worked in a hosiery factory sewing the toes of the hose up, and she would bring home the little ends that they would cut off that you used to buy in the store to make pot holders with. And we used to use those and make things, and we would sew. My mother crocheted. Both of my grandmother's craft. My grandmother on my dad's side, she made quilts and hand sewed all kind of little things. She was an Eastern Star and in with the Shriners, and we used to make stuff and go decorate the tables and make centerpieces and stuff. And my other grandmother on my mom's side, she did a little bit of everything. I remember going with her. We would go for walks and we would collect smooth rocks and come back and paint the rocks. So I've been crafting forever, and I decided, my brother does wood crafts, and we decided we were going to do a craft show fair thing. And we worked for months and got a whole bunch of stuff made, and my brother's wife got sick and he couldn't do it, so I called my other brother, and my other brother's wife made jewelry, so he come and helped me set up everything and brought his wife's jewelry. And the craft fair really, I kind of got really bummed about it because I made $35 at the craft fair. And it was a bad day, it was raining, you know, not a lot of people, whatever, but it was a one-day show. So I had gobs of craft supplies left over. So I decided to sell them on eBay. I was done with the craft fairs, they weren't for me, and I didn't make any money, so I wasn't going to do anymore, and I was going to sell the craft supplies. And at the time I was making the deco mesh wreaths. Well, I ran into an ad for, well, I bought something from a guy to make some wreaths, and I had bought quite a few rolls of deco mesh, and he told me, he says, look, I'm selling out all my deco mesh. He said, are you interested in buying it? And we talked and made a deal, and I bought 800 rolls of deco mesh, put it on eBay, sold it, made some pretty good money doing it. So I thought, well, you know, this is a pretty good side income. So I started ordering wholesale and selling on eBay, and my dad would do all the yard sales, and then I would go down and bring a carload of stuff back that he found at yard sales and everything. Well, my brother wanted to do another craft fair, the one that does wood crafts. And so I started going on YouTube to find people that had done craft fairs and showed, because I noticed they were showing their setups and telling how they did and what they sold stuff for. So I went on there and I was watching that, and in the midst of that I found one of Tamika's videos, and she was doing one of her swap reveals, and I was like, whoa, no way. And I had made scrapbooks for my grandson and my daughter and all kinds of stuff. So when I seen, I wasn't real big into paper crafting. I like to decorate. Decorating is my favorite all-time thing to do. I love Christmas time because that meant I could decorate the whole house, head to toe, every room, inside and out. So when I found the paper crafting and found out there were swaps, I was like, holy mackerel, there's other people and they trade stuff? This is amazing. And that was about 3 years ago. Well, at the time I was still doing my eBay and it was doing okay, but I had to go in for my fourth and the last one I had back surgery. And don't get me wrong, Sabrina, don't get scared, because the first 3 back surgeries I had were amazing. They helped. I felt like a brand new person afterwards. But the last back surgery that I had a neurostimulator implanted, and that really was a very hard surgery. They cut me about 10 inches down the middle of my back, so, and they laid a thing on my spine with a metal box, cut again on the side with the metal box on the side. And that's the hardest surgery I've ever had to overcome. And when I went through that surgery, I couldn't do eBay, because eBay is pretty intense. When you have an online store, and it's a lot of sitting and, you know, putting in all the details, doing the research, finding out the prices, you know, and then you got the shipping and the invoices, and I mean, it's just a whole lot of work. You're at the computer basically all day long. And after this back surgery, I could not sit all day long. There was no way. So I had to close down my eBay store. And in the midst of seeing Scrap the World's videos and then searching other ones and finding other ones and going on Facebook and finding groups where they did this, I was just in awe. I was amazed that other people love crafting as much as I do, because I have one friend that I grew up with, and she doesn't craft. All the rest of my friends, when I got married, my husband run them all off. He didn't want them around. So, but I have one that has withstood the tails test of time. Get it right. But anyway, she didn't craft. So I really, besides my mother and my grandmothers, who both my grandmothers have passed away. Fortunately, I still have my mom, but we live so far away. We used to live right next door, and we used to sit at each other's house and craft and crochet and do all kinds of stuff. But she lives kind of far away now, and we don't get to do that. So I was really, really excited when I found the crafty community online. And so I started making friends. And when I first started YouTube, my intention for YouTube was, I had seen a couple of the D-Stash videos. So my intention was, wow, this is a way I can sell stuff and not have to sit and do all the listings and everything. And then I started making friends, and you know, everybody here is so warm and inviting, and it's hard to say we're not a family, because we really, really are. But anyway, I kind of got off the subject of the crafts. I was telling about my YouTube channel name, but that's how I got the YouTube channel name, was my dad and my eBay store. And once I started meeting people and everything, I kind of felt guilty about coming on and trying to sell stuff to everybody. And I have, and I am not lying when I say I have a house full of craft supplies, y'all. It's not the new collections that just came out or anything like that. And a lot of it's wreath making supplies. But I do have a lot of craft supplies, and I do need to get rid of some of them to make room, so maybe plus make the money so I can buy some of the newer collections. But so I'm gonna start doing a couple D-Stash videos. I'm not gonna bombard y'all, but I'm gonna put them together in kits where everything matches. But anyway, back to the questions. My favorite craft is decorating. I like decorating anything. I'll decorate a cake, I'll decorate a Christmas tree, I'll decorate a room, I'll decorate anything. I'll decorate boxes and make them look like a cake. But I like the decorating the boxes and sending out Happy Mail. So my first thing would probably be decorating, but I love sending Happy Mail because I love how happy it makes everybody. I like giving joy, and I kind of tease Cruz, hi Cruz, because she was reluctant to receive stuff, and I picked on her. I told her, I said, there's a State Farm commercial where it says, don't mess with my discount. And I don't know if y'all have seen it or not, but when Cruz was kind of reluctant of me sending her something, I told her, I said, don't mess with my joy, because it gives me so much joy to send people stuff. And if I could, if I had the means, I would send everybody a box. Everybody I knew, I would send a box if I could, because I love spreading joy, and it makes me just tickled to death when I see someone open a box and they're surprised and, you know, they like it. So that is my favorite thing to do, decorating the box and then sending it to someone. My favorite place to shop, I love shopping thrift stores. I find some very unique stuff, and you know, I even find one of the thrift stores that I go to she has a big mountain of craft supplies there in the back, and she'll bring some out. She'll ask, I'll go in and tell her what I'm looking for, and the next time I come in, she'll bring me out like a basket full. Here, can you use any of this? So a lot of times I find stuff that, unfortunately, when some people pass away, all the craft stuff in their craft room just gets donated, and that's what it looks like. So I find some pretty cool things there. But I also like Dollar Tree, especially with the new craft stuff they're coming out with. My top 5 YouTube channels. I'm not even going to name any YouTube channels because there are so many that I love, and y'all have really become my family online. And you know, I couldn't name just one. I couldn't name just 5 because there's several. I have a hard time keeping up with all of them. There's so many. So I'm not really going to name any because I feel like if I forgot someone and left someone out, I would hurt someone's feelings. So I don't want to really do that. My favorite colors. I think y'all know my favorite color is purple. My bathroom's purple, my bedroom's purple. But when it comes to crafting, I like to use pastels, and I kind of, because I love the shabby, I kind of lean more toward the pink and the mint, but pastels and purple are my favorites. My favorite craft tool. My favorite craft tool is tweezers. I have man hands, and I have a hard time with little things, but I love making little things. So I use tweezers a lot. I probably have 20 pairs of tweezers because I use them for everything. And I also like my scissors. A good sharp pair of scissors. How long have I been crafting? For as long as I can remember. I kind of already answered that, but yeah, as long as I can remember. Forever. Where did I get my love for crafting? From my mother and my grandmothers. They have shown me everything. I remember painting rocks. I remember crocheting. I remember sewing felt together to make little clothes. And I remember my mom showing me how to make doll clothes on the sewing machine. So, from my grandmothers and my mom. My favorite craft to date. That's hard because sometimes I surprise myself with things that I make because I have a hard time believing I make things that look like that, if you know what I mean. For example, this is a spool of ribbon trim. It's like rope. But in sending Happy Mail, I like to decorate the ends of the spool so they can tear it off and have an embellishment. And I just started, I really wasn't making this one for anyone. See, I kind of got the lights down low. I had these little lanterns that are shabby. They have little flowers on them, and I thought they were adorable. And I had them in my stash for quite a while now and have never used them. They even got a little bit of dust on them. But I thought they were really super cute, and I've never been able to use them, so I thought, what a better time to use them than to answer the questions. So I didn't have some bright light on, but oh well, I guess I better turn. My little lanterns don't show up that well with, but anyway, when I was just sitting there and I was watching the video and this was sitting there, and I just grabbed it and started sticking flowers on it, and I couldn't believe how well it come out. I'm like, I didn't make that. I had to buy that somewhere. But anyway, I can't really pick one because, you know, I love paper crafting now that I have found all the different kinds. I didn't know about, you know, pocket letters and mem decks and all that. I knew scrapbooking, and I'd done that before, but I didn't know about all this other awesome stuff that was included in paper crafting. I do like my envelope wallets, or my wallet embellishment wallets that I made, and I haven't forgot to do a tutorial on that. It's been kind of hectic since right before my dad passed away, and with taxes and all I had to do with my son, but things are settling down now. I have more time, there'll be more videos, and I am going to do the tutorial for that. And that, I believe, was the 10 questions. I don't really think there's anybody left to tag. I haven't seen Lisa, Made New to Create, answer them. She may have, and I may have missed it, but I haven't seen it. If you haven't done it, I'm tagging you. Anybody else who hasn't done it yet, I'm tagging you. Leticia, You know, you could do your first video and answer 10 crafty questions. That would be awesome. It's not as bad once you do it, I promise. I was real leery to do it at first too, but it's not as bad as it feels like it's going to be until you do one, and then it gets easier. But anyway, that's my answers. Thank y'all for hanging around and listening. Y'all have a crafty day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.